and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Future of virtual motorsports is now. This September, the heart of sim racing beats in Chicagoland as the Sim Gaming Expo takes over the Schaumburg Convention Center, September 5th through the 7th. Go wheel to wheel in our competition area, test the latest gear, meet top brands, creators, and celebrate with fellow sim racing enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or new to the sport, this is your chance to be part of history. To purchase tickets and see the full exhibitor lineup, visit simgamingexpo.com.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Hello and welcome to the ARCA Sparks Racing Series here. Tonight we're here for week 8, gonna be located at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now it's known as Echo Park. I'm your host, Big Al. Joined in the booth by none other than Mr. James Watson. James, how you doing tonight, good buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to this race as a broadcaster, but not necessarily as a driver. This is the older version of Atlanta before it was all funhouse mirrored by NASCAR. This is a fantastic place to watch a race. It really shows who's the best at conserving their stuff, because this is one of the worst tracks when it comes to tire wear. So it's going to take everything you have to be able to get your tires as far as they need to go. But for me personally, many people know my struggles at tracks at a mile and a half in length. So a bit unsure on how I'm gonna do, and also racing with a bit of a heavy heart. We found out a few days ago that one of the longtime members of Team Watson Racing, Jameson Middlemiss, passed away. So I'm gonna be dedicating this race to him, and just hoping I don't let him down and put in the wall or something silly.
I tell you what, one thing I'm not worried about is I'm not worried about you letting him down, little buddy. As a matter of fact, I know for sure that you're going to do a lot better than you think you're going to do here tonight. Just under a minute left in warm-ups, getting ready to kick qualifying off here. Looks like we got a field of 11. What do you think, James? 11? Is that going to be good down there tonight?
Absolutely. I think this is good. A good field of cars here trying to make their way through this tricky racetrack.
All right, now we got the keys to the race right here. Tire conservation is everything. Like you said just a little bit ago, that's going to be the driving factor here tonight. This track is not rescanned, but this tire model is. So drivers are going to be trying to ensure that the tires don't drive the pit stops that the fuel does. Next thing they're going to have to watch is managing these long green flag runs, and that's what we're expecting tonight. Expecting to have long green flag runs. That's going to tie back into that tire conservation. It's also going to tie into fuel conservation, because drivers are going to have to come up with that strategy. Last but not least, of the keys to the race is going to be pit road execution. You got to get it slowed down, get it in. Like James was saying, he's having a hard time with these mile and a halves. One of the big things is where that brake bias sits. So drivers trying to get that car down off the apron, back on the pit road. That is going to be a big challenge. We're going to see at least one or two guys wash out on that tonight. Those are the keys to the race. That's what we're looking out for. Qualifying underway here. We'll take a look at our points. Right now, you got Maddie Raymond ahead of the points with 237. Paul Ozen's going to be coming in there 42 points behind him. Maddie Sisner just 48 6 points behind Paul. Then Vincent Crow's going to be sitting in fourth. Kenny Powell in fifth. James Watson in sixth. Seventh place is going to be, there's a tie for fifth. It's Kenny Powell and James Watson. Seventh is going to be Jeff Engler, tie for eighth, which is going to be Sebastian Manchin and Ruben Phelps. And Greg Wachinski is going to round out the top 10 in the points. So definitely going to see some movement in the points here tonight, because I do believe the majority of those drivers are actually going to be down here making this field. Chris Severa is actually even making a guest appearance tonight. Going to be excited to see him down there. Oh, got one more in. Looks like this field just jumped to 12, and I want to change my pick. Can I change my pick? No, I'm going to stick with you, James. Speaking of picks, let's take a look at them. Got our picks right here. Big Al, lead commentator. That's me. I put my pick in, and I'm picking you, little buddy. I'm picking the 39 of James Watson. And the reason why is because if there anybody out there on that racetrack that's racing with not just a heavy heart, but he definitely got to keep his head dialed in, because I picked him, that's going to be you, Mr. Watson.
Well, it's a bold strategy there, my friend. We'll see how it works out. I'm picking Chris Severa. We saw him in season 1 have so much speed, particularly at tracks like this. So I know that he's going to be a tough one to beat.
Now we're going to kick it on downstairs to the truck man himself, Kobe Cobes. Who you picking, Cobes?
This week I'm going to take someone out of the TWS camp, one of the house drivers for that team, and I'm going to go with Mr. Raymond, Mr. Sheen.
All right, going with Mr. Matty Raymond in the 83. So those are our picks. Who's your pick? Let us know, please. Put them in the chat. Kobe, let us know what's going with the chat. I can't see it from over here, but I know there's people out there trying to get in touch with me. I can feel it. My spider senses are tingling. Hey, getting some laps in here now. Starting to show up with just a couple. Ronnie Andrews going to be sitting on top of the leaderboard. Good to see Ryan back tonight. Had a little bit of a struggle last week at Langley. He did indeed. Yes, he did. But doesn't look like he's bringing those woes with him. Looks like he's shaking those off now, ready to do business, ready to do battle. Sebastian Mansionin right there coming in. He's got a good solid run there at second, watching Greg Wachinski. He's got a run that's holding on at third. And James Watson right there. Just under 2 minutes remaining in qualifying. This race is brought to you by all of our sponsors there. Inside Lane Productions, 131 Radio Network, Team Watson Racing Setups, Doogie, and Scotcher Fuels. I'm getting it done here tonight. Riding along with that's Matty Raymond.
Yeah,
And
Matty,
that
one of
83
the last few to attempt the qualifying laps so far. Only 4 cars have put a lap time on the board, which is Matty and David Gervais left to go.
Vincent Crow's going to try to get a lap or two in here, seeing if he has enough time. But with just under a minute to go, we're going to be watching intently. I don't know if he's going to actually have enough. Yeah. All right, so I think that's going to do it. With just 30 seconds left to qualifying, I think we're going to go ahead and step away, get ourselves situated in the line, and we'll be right back with the starting grid and coverage of tonight's race.
The future of virtual motorsports is now. This September, the heart of sim racing beats in Chicagoland as the Sim Gaming Expo takes over the Schaumburg Convention Center, September 5th through the 7th. Go wheel to wheel in our competition area. Test the latest gear, meet top brands, creators, and celebrate with fellow sim racing enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or new to the sport, this is your chance to be part of history. To purchase tickets and see the full exhibitor lineup, visit simgamingexpo.com.
And we are back. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Need all the follows we can get here. Lined up tonight, just got a couple of drivers left to actually make the grid, but while they're waiting, we're going to run through it. On the pole tonight, Ryan Andrews in that 75 car. He's going to be joined on the outside by the 83 of Matty Raymond. Third place car is going to be Sebastian Mansion, and he's going to have Greg Wachinski lining up on his outside. James Watson rolls off in 5th. He'll have Chris Severa on his outside. Physical row. Run on that next row with Kenny Powell along his outside. 9th place shows Paul Olsen and Derek Jacobs. Then you got David Gervais and Jeff Engler rounding out this 12-car field here tonight. Out of the 12, though, only 5 cars qualified. James Watson himself, self-admitted, self-diagnosed people. I didn't say this. First time he's qualified outside of the top 3 all season. We're sitting here at sunny Atlanta. We got a track temp of 101. It's going to be 78 degrees. Wind out of the north at 2 miles an hour, part of the cloudy skies. They're going to be sitting down there tonight on this 1.51 mile oval. It's been 125 laps on 4 sets of tires with a 75% fuel margin. That's what we got. That's what you get. We're getting ready to kick this thing off. James.
Yeah,
Waiting
it's
on
going to
88
be
to get it going.
it's going to be an interesting one. Really curious to see how these opening laps are going to go. This car seems to really loosen up over the course of the race, so a lot of us will likely be fighting for our lives here off a corner exit.
We'll be waiting to see, man. Can't wait to see it. Pace car lights are out. He's leading us around. Then we're getting out of the way. James, do you like the new scan better, or do you prefer this version of the racetrack?
I prefer this version of the racetrack because the new version is just kind of sad with making it a super speedway. So there's something classic about old Atlanta.
All right, pace car is going to be down and away, getting ready to drive this thing through the Geico restart zone. Ryan Andrews taking a green flag. Chaos and pandemonium ensues behind as the drag race twin to 83. And Andrews 3 wide going into the turn. James Watson's going to be down on the low. He'll trying to sort this out. You can beat 3 wide at Atlanta. That is okay. And we have almost a 3 wide battle for the lead. Right now it's poking its way back 3 wide for 3rd place. That's going to go ahead and extend itself up into 2nd place. The 10 cars, Chris Severa, he's going to be looking to try to get through these guys, trying to catch Ryan Andrews. Andrews definitely on the way, having a far better night tonight than he did last week.
Yeah, last week was a race to forget for Ryan Andrews, but so far significantly different. Getting the pole with a massive lap, and so far chilling in P1 right now.
Yeah, right now he's doing exactly what he needs to do, man. He is leading this thing, but he does have Chris Severa. Chris, the savior, the saver. That's what I'm going to call him. He's not the savior, but he is the saver. If anybody out there is going to have a strategy by in which they're going to try to run, the long game, I think that's going to be Chris. Not showing. I mean, how many laps do you think we're going to get out of a tank of gas with that 75% fuel tank?
Probably around 32 to 35 laps.
Okay, so stretching it between 32 to 35 laps. That's what we're going to look for. We'll see how many drivers are actually going to come to the front of that thing and try to stretch it out to the back. Also, cautions could be in there. We're not hoping that we'll have any of those because I do believe long green flag runs, that's what everybody needs when it comes to Atlanta. Ryan Andrews still out front. Chris Severa laying the chase down. James Watson turning great times in 3rd. Watson just getting a little bit of breathing room over Vincent Crowe. And behind the order, single file line, that's the story of the racing here tonight. Keeping this thing clean and green all the way through. We're going to be here with you the whole way, lap 5. Ryan Andrews, the dominant car so far, he has led every single lap. Keeping my eye on the interval between that 75 and the 10. Right now it's holding just around 6.5 tenths of a second behind. So what about the air, James? Is dirty air going to be a factor for you guys down there on the racetrack tonight?
Absolutely. Dirty air is always a factor in any sort of modern race car. So it's something you got to keep an eye out. But, you know, the thing about old Atlanta is that you have many lines at your disposal to use. You know, you'll see some guys like me, you know, running the very inside, you know, the birthplace of the Harviking term right here, old Atlanta. You might see some try to run up high by the wall. Running the outside is very very viable here at Old Atlanta. So it just depends on what you're feeling from your tires and how exactly you want to attack the racetrack here.
I definitely don't see a lot of attacking. It seems that a lot of drivers are taking that play out of the playbook to just kind of take it easy. Seems to be maybe a little bit of attack going on. That's going to be Sebastian Mansion, and he is going to be kind of encroaching onto the back of the 83. It looks like he's going to back out now and give him a little bit of breathing room. Green flag racing continues. Ryan Andrews seems holding his lead, but although it is decreased from 0.65 to 0.5. So you do see Chris Rivera starting to shorten that gap just a little bit. Vincent Crowe trying to get a run off good old Evans. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, it looks like he got the wall a little bit too.
Yeah, I think he got just a little bit excited. He might have saw an opportunity and just kind of like, he bopped it. Watching the interval still between Ryan Andrews and Chris Severe, still hanging out now at about a 0.45. Severe slowly closing that gap, and that's what Severe does. He puts just enough pressure on you to make you burn your stuff up, and he'll do that whether he's in the front or the back of you. He knows just how much pressure to put on the guys around him to make them wear their stuff out.
Absolutely.
It's almost like, Vincent Crowe coming high around the 39 of James Watson. James going to fight for this position. Nope, Crowe's going to take the run. Watson going to let him have it. Watson also has the 83 of Matty Raymond. He's coming up, prepared for the crossover. Not going to be able to get to the outside, not just yet. But the 39 has got his nose dialed right in behind Vincent Crowe.
And we got a change for the lead. Severa passed Ryan Andrews into the top spot. I think Andrews might have got loose off of turn 4.
Well, it all went according to plan here as you're watching that on the replay.
Oh, he sure as heck did.
And he paddled that thing, and that allowed Chris Severa to get just what he needed to go around. Don't know what kind of damage Ryan Andrews has actually done because he's been running pretty hard out front of this thing thus far, So not sure just how much damage he's going to have.
Yeah, it seems to be significant damage to those tires as Vincent gets by. I make the pass for third, and now he's got to hold off Matty Raymond too. Yeah, we're starting to reach that crossover point to where the right rear is starting to let everyone know that it's not feeling all that great, because I've felt it get a little loose here a couple times since Andrews almost getting the wall there off of 2.
Yeah, Andrews slowly starting to fall back. That's what I was kind of wondering. That's what I was referring to, because he was out front and he was leading this thing, running pretty hard. But that's one of the keys to the race, the degradation of the tire wear here. That's going to be a big factor. And we're going to see if guys set themselves up for the long run or if guys didn't think about it. It's definitely, you don't want tire wear to dictate the stop. You kind of want to make it at least to lap 32. The fewer stops you can make it on this thing, the better you're going to be. But it's going to get to the point where if that car becomes unhandleable, you risk even bringing out a caution or tearing up another car as well.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see how the pit stops shake out. With it being 125 laps, it's a bit of a unique number. So we're all, and add on top of the fact that fuel is limited, we're just not quite sure what's going to happen, fuel-wise. So, I suppose for a lack of a better word, uncharted territory here is, we're waiting to see how this race plays out.
Yeah, right now you're looking at a minimum of a stop race.
Oh,
Just
severe into the wall.
American.
There's look like some kind of hefty contact there off of turn 2. It's allowed Vincent and me to really run him back down.
Yeah, definitely. Severa's contact with the wall was causing major ripples in the pond. Is now Vincent Crow going to be encroaching upon Severa. He's going to be trying to get around the outside, but Chris going to be trying to put that thing back in the wind. Still losing steadily, though, on his position between himself and Crow. Severa, though, still able to paint the line, so it doesn't seem that the damage is too severe.
Me and Matty Raymond are side by side here into turn 1.
And trying to take his way back up to the front. James wisely lets him pass. Also getting ready to have the 40 of Sebastian Mansion, and he is toting Ryan Andrews along with him. Andrews seems to have got his car back under wraps. Done. 20 laps into this thing, just about. I think we're thinking maybe 12 to 14 laps there before we actually start seeing green flag pit runs. James, is your car handling okay? Is it kind of stepped back a little bit, or you've not been able to tell?
I'm feeling a smidge tight actually on corner entry, but it's nothing obscene. I'm not satisfied, but I'm not really suffering either. Is side by side for the lead.
Oh,
Crow and Severa side by side. Oh, here comes Matty Ray. He's going to look to the inside of Crow.
Vincent Crow really upset himself right there once he went for the pass. That opened the door for Matty Raymond. Now Raymond going to be down on the inside, also going to be dragging the 39 of Watson.
Matty might be getting a little loose here.
Matt Raymond trying to hold the bottom, just not quite able to get that done. Washed up the racetrack just a little bit. Crow continues his assault, trying to get back up to the back of the 10 car Severa. Watson tucking down to the inside of the 83 car. He's going to be right there. Still that battle. That's going to be for third place. Watson now driving down to the inside, not going to get the drive off. Crow setting himself up, going to try to make for the crossover here. Here's the move to the inside for the lead. Chris Severa goes high. Not going to really contend this thing. Watching Vincent Crow, hoping that he'll be able to have the staying power that he needs to stay down on the inside. Is it going to stick? Does it look like he's going to have enough to close the deal? Severa back out front now, going into turn 1. Crow definitely going to be setting himself up, trying to see if he can't make another move. Speaking of another moves, the 39 getting really racy. Sebastian Mansion right now all over the bumper to 39. He is going to drop down to the inside. This battle right here is going on. That battle's going to be for 4th place. Chris Severa still not out of the woods right now. As Vincent Crow gives him just a little bit more breathing room. Didn't quite get the turn that he needed down to go into the turn. Severa still holding off. He's right now, this is probably the busiest he's been all night. As Vincent Crow still stays high. Crow trying to do everything he can to reel in that saver. Severa not actually having any opportunity to save right now. As Crow down to the inside once again. Vincent Crow keeping it tight down, but has not been able to get the drive off that Severa has been coming off of the top run. That's going to be the one thing that Crow is going to be trying to actually figure out, or he's going to have to. Severa now gets a little bit more breathing room. And speaking of breathing room, the 83, he's losing all that he has because the 39 right there, Watson, he's going to be right there to the inside, not quite clear, but he was definitely up to that rear quarter panel. He is still down there, trying to pull it together, trying to pull together what he needs to get the drive off Obviously, it looks like the high line's the preferred line right now. The guys
Absolutely. And that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. I had a feeling that it was going to migrate up to ripping the lip here as the run goes on. I'm still running the inside, though. It's basically going to be no different than how I ran Kansas a few races ago. Just primarily stay on the inside and focus on conserving tire that way.
So you think tire conservation, is that still the buzzword that we're looking for here tonight?
Yeah, because with it being 125 laps, you know, it's not going to be possible to stretch it to just a 2-stop race. So it's going to be a 3. So, and you have a wide window to work with. So you're really going to be mostly watching your tires in this scenario.
Battle change for the lead there. Sorry about that. Vincent Crow was watching the 10 of Severa. Severa ultimately made contact with the wall and ultimately cost him 2 spots as he lost to Matty Raymond and to Vincent Crow. Crow now going to be doing the best he can to keep the lead for as long as he can. As Watson now came up, he was on the back of the 10. Severa dialing back in. He kind of has that bullseye all over the back of the 00. Not going to let Crow rest as he now tries to come to the inside. Matty Raymond being our 3rd leader here tonight. Actually, our 4th. Vincent Crow, Matty Raymond, Chris Severa, and Ryan Andrews. Those have been the guys that have taken the ticket. And just like that, guys were slipping right into that green flag pit window. The 25 car of Jeff Engler, he's down pit road right now. Not sure how he got there or why he's there.
I think Kobe said he has a black flag.
There doesn't seem to be any movement going on there. He might be kind of holding. There he goes. He's released. Watson going to give up another spot. He's going to let Sebastian Manson come around high on the outside. And Ryan Andrews is going to try to follow suit as the 83 of Matty Raymond. He is still dialed into the back of the 00 Vincent Crow. Severa now drops low. He's going to try to get that run down to the inside. He's going to paint the line. He's going to be right there to the inside of the 83. Almost clear. Definitely right there within the bumper. Trying to get back up to the door now. Severa still there holding on. Might get the drive off this time. 2x2 behind him. Severa not able to get it done. Comes back up. Kind of blocks the 40 of Sebastian right there. That's going to allow James to still stay down and to stay relevant. Severa now tries to come down and block the inside of Evans. He's trying to make that 10 car as wide as possible right now, as these guys are definitely duking it out. And here I was thinking we were getting ready for green flag pit stops. Apparently not the case.
I don't know when we're going to be pitting at this point.
Well, as my grandmother used to say, it won't be long now. Ooh, Severa now down the inside. This is a 3-way battle for the lead. Didn't have what he needed to get by the 83, but he's still there. Going to play peekaboo probably at least one more time, but now he goes low. Trying to make up the difference. The 83 is going to be approaching from the outside. The 10 is going to be approaching from the inside. You can have a 3-way shootout here for the lead as Matty Raymond and Severa now are almost dialed in neck and neck. And they're both trying to do everything they can to put the pressure to Vinny Crow. Crow having a masterful race up to this point. He's the one that hasn't stepped on anything just yet. But Murphy's just right around the corner, and the 83 is right there within 2 car lengths, and the 10 is down low. Ryan Andrews making his way back up to the front, still trying to display the fact that he has a fast car. Wasn't that another Ryan that sang that song? Nope, that was Luke Combs. Sorry. Raymond down on the inside of the 10. This battle for second. These two ultimately have traded positions there. As Chris Severa is going to be running around the high side. Been seeing that car. I don't know. It seems that he prefers the low line, but right now Raymond's going to pull him out there and they're going to make him stay high. So whatever Severa does right now, he's going to have to show us if he can run that outer ring. Makes
Chris
a
got the
little
wall.
bit of contact with the wall, and that's been the common theme with that 10 car. It seems to be once he's up against the wall, he ends up against the wall. Raymond still not getting the sticky to drive off, still battling. Sebastian Mansion, he is slowly coming up into the fray of this. Now that we're actually getting a good look, man, if these guys can go 40-plus laps, that's definitely going to make this a three-stop race. Vincent Crowe, he's coming in this time, he said. Leader's going to be pitting this time. I wonder how many people that's going to actually drive the pit also. I think this is going to be the big one. I think pit road is going to have a lot of guys. We're watching to see how this affects everybody. Remember what I said? You got to manage.
Oh, someone hit the wall.
The 88 of David Gervais, he was going to rip the nose off of his car. Definitely going to be major time for him behind the wall. Probably going to have a little colored flag to go with it. Bam, right there you see it. Man. That is what we're talking about. That's going to leave a big ding. Matty Raymond stays out watching. Right now, Sebastian Mansion, Greg Wachinski, Matty Raymond still got a lot of drivers that are still staying out. These guys are coming down pit road now. See the 5 of Wachinski. Here comes the 45 and the 27. Looks like this will complete our first official round of green flag pit stops. Still waiting on the 83 and the 40 to pit. And here they come. Almost a mirror image right there. Getting those vehicles down to the pit road speed. Making that long run right now, trying to get to their pit boxes. These pit stops have to be perfect. I mean, that's going to affect how well you get off. As you can see right now, it appears that Sebastian actually is making up time. We'll be watching that race off of pit road. Not going to get it done.
Oh, and Ryan Andrews is back on pit road.
Fortunately, Ryan's going to be one of those guys that got that black flag. Guy I used to call races with, well, I still do. It's me. I always say you drive for show, but you pit for dough. You know, you're gonna lose a lot more races on pit road than you're gonna win actually out on the racetrack. Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah. '67, 65 on the right side tires after that initial run.
Okay, so I mean, tire wear is not going to be that big of a deal then, because that's actually not that bad for 40 laps almost.
Are you sure about that? Somehow I don't share the sentiment.
Well, I'll say this. I don't think we're going to have any drivers that are actually, removed or get a meatball flag for tires.
True, but 60% is also no bueno. Like, you feel it when you're 60% left, and I was feeling it.
So, the tire degradation is real. 40 laps is about the max you want to go. And now the car feels great again.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more comfortable. again, got a lot of clean air around me, so I'm gonna focus on trying to be a little easier on them this time around,
And
and
this is
seeing
gonna
how
be-
I stack up.
And this is the tough part, That's the reason why I'm kind of glad that I get to watch Crow and Severa, because, like I was saying, Severa's a guy. He's the vice. He's going to put the pressure on you. But Crow's up front, and he gets to dictate his own race pace, And he's got to pick a pace that's going to work for him, that's going to last for him, because you don't want to start this thing up front and run so fast that, towards the end of the run, you burned your tires up and you find yourself back in 5th or 6th space. That's not going to do you any good. You need to start thinking now long term, because it doesn't appear that this race is going to be plagued with a lot of cautions, right? But who knows? Cautions do breed cautions. But as drivers on the long run right now, you got to be setting yourself up for the long haul. So you don't want to be down at the 60, 65 that James is saying is uncomfortable. You want to try to save and manage your tires as best you can. At least now you got to try to make them last for 40 laps.
Yep. And, it makes sense, because towards the end of that run, all of us were just driving like it was the closing laps of the race. So it definitely made sense to me that tire wear was that bad. Now, with everyone spread out for the most part, we're going to see a lot more conscientious efforts of trying to save them better than what we had been doing in the first stint of this race.
Yeah, definitely. Now everybody seems to be kind of falling into the rhythm, getting into that race groove. That track temp still 106 degrees, still 78 degrees at the air temp, still got the same wind, so not much has changed except for the time down there where you're at, James.
Yep. Yeah, just still focus on conserving and all that. I am wondering if I might be saving a little too much, but it's tough to really figure that out. So I probably will start pushing just a little more here soonish, but just want to focus on taking care of it at the early part of this run, because that's where most of your tire saving is done. If you take care of them in the early part of the run, you'll have a lot better tires towards the end, and that's what I've always found. So we'll see.
Indeed, we'll be right here kind of watching that whole thing kind of fake out with you, if you will. Getting it done on the racetrack, though, watching this thing go by. Paul Osen has the fastest lap time overall with a 30.090. Kenny Powell fastest overall on that last lap with a 30.623. Powell being scored back in 9th place, 1 lap down.
Yeah, looks like Chris is starting to reel Vincent in ever so slightly. And a 0.3 of a gap, the distance that he's got to make up. He's getting closer. Looks like Vincent slips up a little bit, maybe trying that middle line.
And this goes back to what I was saying. You ultimately end up with these two drivers fighting and racing as hard as they can. And ultimately, they're just putting pressure on each other. And it's kind of allowing the rest of the field to kind of lay off and conserve. Which we'll see how this works. We'll see if the fall off in tire wear is significant enough that you guys are actually able to make gains on Crow as you push through this cycle. Now, Crow was the first guy to officially call out that he was pitting in last time, and that did draw a lot of guys in with him. This time, I don't know if maybe guys try to stay out 2 more laps, 2 laps longer. Maybe.
Yep.
You gotta start looking for separation. You at some point you're gonna have to start doing something different than everybody around you in order to gain the advantage. I mean, that's ultimately what you're gonna be trying to do. These guys will be trying to gain any kind of advantage they can, because tenths of second, those things matter, thousands of seconds. Right now we're watching Severus. He is just kind of sitting there putting vice-like pressure on Vincent Crow, if you will. These guys not even running the fastest laps of the race. But that fastest lap that time came from Matty Raymond. It was a 30-point. Well, that one was a 31.050. But
man, they are all over each other.
Yeah, pressure. Severa now coming down to the inside. I'm wondering if Crow's going to let him go, if Crow's going to be battling. These guys did duke it out quite a bit there last time for the lead. Vincent Crow looks like he is determined to dig in and fight again. Severa going to be down on the inside. Now, I do know one thing. If Crow wants to fight, Severa's going to probably fight him back. But it's going to be at the detriment of somebody. That's what you got to understand. These guys battling for the lead right here. We're still like right smack dab in the middle of that sequence. Not expecting to see you guys back until around lap 80. Severa now down to the inside again, driving low on that line. Remember, he likes to paint that line. We saw him operate on the high line. Definitely not his preferred stance, I could say. Seems every time he did kind of go up high, he risked hitting that wall.
Man, look at that. You were talking about separation. There's hardly any separation between these two.
Yep, and they're coming up on Derek Jacobs in the 27 car. Both going to go. Go get him, Derek. With Derek Jacobs going down, that's going to leave 7 cars on the lead lap. Severa still coming low, still trying to get there, trying to make it work on the low side.
And a little bit of technical difficulties there.
Yeah, we're back. Just a little reset. Yeah, definitely a lot better there with that Discord. I don't know what happened.
There he goes.
I'm glad she's back. They're still trying to make that move down on the inside of 00. This battle's been going on for quite a while, still not coming to an end anytime soon. These guys did actually get by the 27 of Derek Jacobs right before we had our blink. And that's going to put him a lap down, remember. And these guys are slowly reeling in that 45 of Paul Olsen. That's going to be the mark to watch as Severa shows once again. Just keeping enough pressure on Crow that he's not actually able to relax. He's having to keep both hands on the steering wheel, kind of keep showing that white knuckle. Where a lot of other guys are just kind of chilling. Severa definitely keeping his nose right there. I mean, he has officially become a gnat.
Vincent got to get a bug zapper going at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, it's every lap. It's right there. Both of these guys trying to find the advantage. looking at their lap times, they're still running as fast as anyone else. So that's not going to be the issue. But look, while they've been battling side by side like that for the lead, it's even allowing Derek Jacobs to keep up with these guys as we're now officially at the halfway point of this race. And that'll just give you an idea. And Jacobs has to be loving this, man, because if he can just stick where he's at, you know, he might even get his lap back.
Yeah, at the rate they're going.
Yeah, man, Derek Jacobs running some of his fastest laps of the contest right there while he's hanging out with these guys. You know, offered the opportunity to go to school. You got a master class going on in front of you, so you got 2 lines to learn from. Kind of just being in the right place right there. They're still coming down low on that low, trying to get any advantage that he can. Looks like right now that's to his detriment. Seems Vincent Crowe starting to get a little bit of a drive off again. Maybe just a little bit of breathing room. Nope, Severa's right back at it. Look, everybody that we started this thing with still in the race. The only car out was David Gervais. He's down on pit road. Yeah, you probably let it cook. Now the 25 is coming down pit road. This would not be a scheduled stop.
Oh, or think Severa might have gotten by Vincent. They're continuing to be side by side.
Still side by side. This battle not over yet. Severa did have the momentary advantage, but Vincent Crowe came right back, washed that away. These two not relenting at all. Either of them. Severa still to the inside of Crowe, side by side. Lower they go into the turn. Severa gets the drive off. Vincent Crowe sets up for the crossover. Here he comes right down to the inside to take the lead back. Severa now higher around the ring this time. Crowe just enough to make the pass. Crowe comes back down across the nose of Severa, not going to let him get back to the inside. Severa now having to set that whole move up yet one more again. Man, these two are battling here pretty profusely. Yeah, everybody else around the racetrack just kind of taking it easy. But Chris and Vincent Crowe, no, not these two. They're definitely duking out like it's a heavyweight fight. They're still painting the bumper of the 00. Looking the inside. Once again, driving down to the inside. Trying to make it hook up so he can get the drive off. Comes back up high. Resets. Reassesses. This time he's going to stay high around the ring. Look here. We're just about 10 laps out before we start green flag pit stops again. We're going to take it a step away, get a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with continued coverage of tonight's race.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Racing isn't easy. but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back. Right here as we were gone, green flag pit stops actually underway. Vincent Crowe came down a couple laps ago. He got his service underway. Now the rest of the field seems to be pouring in. My very own James Watson, he's already pitted.
Yep, one of the first ones to bring it down, which is not often for me that I do that, but the strategy seemed like that bringing it in a little earlier might be the way to go.
And why is that, James?
I mean, everyone who's watched these broadcasts know that I always tend to hype up the overcut a lot, but it seemed like the overcut hasn't been as effective tonight as I've seen it, which is a bit surprising to me, considering that how gnarly tire wear is here. I figured that it would have worked out more. So,
how was
go
the
on.
power under that last stint?
It was 74-70, pitting
Now,
in
is
about. Yeah, I think I pitted about 3 or 4 laps earlier than I did the first stint.
No.
But yeah, it definitely shows the difference on taking care of the tires a little more. You know, I had a little more percent to work with this time around. You know, not even factoring in the fewer laps I went.
So let me ask you this. Now that you've actually got 2 pit stops behind you, do you think everybody has actually engineered their own pit strategy at this point? Do they know how many times they're stopping? Is everybody stopping the same amount of times left? have guys actually started making their advantages? Like, what about you? I mean, you got 45 laps to go in this thing. Are you going to do it on was that your last stop? Are you going to try to make it all the way to the end?
No, absolutely not. It's still 44 laps. The max we were able to get was like 39, maybe 40. So we're absolutely going to have to stop again. So you're going to see several different schools of thought. You're just going to see some guys maybe try to pit earlier, be on fresher tires for the last little bit of the race and try to make hay that way. You might see some guys try to run the tank out and either go for a splash and go or hope for a nicely timed caution at the end of the race. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities and options out there for everyone on the track right now. So just gotta wait and see which options everyone chooses.
Yeah, definitely. We're excited about that just to see how the whole thing plays out. Now, did you reveal your pit strategy?
No.
Or might I ask what your strategy is going to be?
Gonna wait and see here, see what the gap is looking like and what my car is feeling like, and then kind of go from there.
Now, what do you think the probability of a caution is at this stage in the race? I mean, we've been out here now, and we've run 85 laps, and this thing has been clean and green. Do you think that we'll see green flag racing all the way through the end of this?
It's definitely a possibility because right now we're spread out. Not a whole lot of cars are battling right now, but this track isn't easy, and we are putting the tires through their paces, and trying to push like heck, trying to get those last little seconds and run someone down. You could very easily make a mistake and loop it and bring the caution out. So it's not likely, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get one.
Definitely, we'll definitely be keeping our eyes on that. But I do agree. I think maybe we might not see a caution. This thing is going to go, looks like possibly green to checker. And I mean, who wouldn't want a better race than that? That's I think that's all what we dream of.
Absolutely. And I love strategy races like this because this is so unpredictable. You truly have no idea who's going to win because we don't know what strategy everyone's going to use, and we don't know what the winning strategy is. So anyone can still have an opportunity to win this because of all of these variables.
That's why they call them variables. It definitely does give everybody a fair shot at this thing. It's far from over. 38 laps to go. That is definitely a pit cycle. So if the caution were to come out at this point, we would actually be able to make it towards the end of this thing. But since there's no sign of a caution, drivers are going to be wanting to break this down. Now, what I'm going to guesstimate here is I think drivers are probably going to look at that 40 laps that they had, and they're going to try to split that up into a chunk that's manageable. What I believe, I think is going to be about halfway, because 20 laps. That's good life on a set of tires, especially on a racetrack like this. I do believe that's the raciness is still going to be there, and at that point, you're going to have to run what you brung anyway.
Absolutely.
There might be some guys that stay out later though, because they might be anticipating that late race caution and wanting to have a set of tires just in case it's a 10-lap shootout.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that you can go a long way, we weren't, for those that kind of stretched it out a little more, you can go to probably with, 10 laps to go or so before you have to bring it in. So being able to do that gives you, opportunity to hope for the caution, maybe go with a splash and go. But if you are doing a strategy like that, it's going to be a bit dubious on whether or not it will work out properly because. Sorry, what was that?
No. When is it too late to stop?
I think from what it looks like, 5 laps or so might be too late. Yeah, because the undercut, like even just like a lap or so, the undercut is massive because of how bad these tires are wearing. And it doesn't seem like going long is giving you enough of an advantage on the backside of that. Here we go,
Crow
battle for the lead,
really-
Severa and Crow.
Crow really off the pace there as Severa walked him down. That last 0.5 of a second just disappeared as Severa just jumped. I don't know. It was almost like the 00. It kind of just stopped and waited on Severa to catch up. I don't think that was the case, but either that or he hit a proverbial brick wall. But now the 10 back down doing battle.
Yeah, so Severa came out of nowhere. Like just a couple laps ago, I looked and he was 1.4 seconds back, and then all of a sudden we look back and he's battling for the lead. Like all of a sudden he's just flipped a switch.
Well, he just hit the wall. And definitely now Severa back up top in the hunt. But you know, I was watching him and like I don't know if Vincent had anything to do with that or not. Severa now just gonna get the pass and the drive off.
Yeah, that's the first time all night long that the overcut has flexed some muscle. Severa pitted, I believe, like 3 or 4 laps after Pro did. So that little bit of tire offset in Severa's favor is finally starting to show up here.
We're seeing 2 laps. They have a 2-lap difference right there between their pit stop strategies.
Only 2?
Only
Man,
2.
time flows so much differently behind the wheel. I thought it was an eternity.
But it was kind of amazing the way that Severa did just kind of walk that 00 down. I mean, talking about gap sauce. Oh, I'm listening to Crow, and Crow is definitely having a hard time there as his car almost gets loose. So the adjustments that he made ultimately have been the end of him. So that was not necessarily something that Severa was doing, but it is indeed something that the 00 is not doing. He can't even figure it out. Listening to these guys on the radio, sometimes I feel like I'm cheating, but I'm not. Wow. What a difference. Now with Greg Wachinski down, he's making his stop with 29 laps to go. You can believe the 00 is going to be coming down pit road sooner than later, as he has got to figure something out. The 27 of Derek Jacobs also coming down. This might be these guys' final stop, seeing exactly how this is going to play out. 27 misses his box, has to back up just a little bit. That's going to cost him valuable time there on pit road. And still watching this thing. It's still shaking and baking, baby.
Oh.
Yeah, 27, no good, no good. He no good operator. He no good operator at all. No, that's one of those. Never mind. It's on TikTok. I saw it on TikTok. Hey, Mr. George.
That's your first mistake there, Big Al. TikTok will rot your mind, noodle.
I'm 53. I fought in 4 wars and cancer. Been married once. I think my brain's already gone. The good parts, anyway.
Nah, there's still plenty of good parts left.
Matty Raymond coming up around the 39. James Watson. Watson's going to have to get it in gear if you're going to want to finish this thing on the podium. We are anticipating at least one more stop out of James. That's going to be coming up here momentarily.
Like right now.
Like right now it's happening. Also, Chris Severa down pit road as well. So that's going to tell about that cycle. We'll be watching intently with the 00 so we can figure out exactly what Vincent's going to do, because he's going to have to make some adjustments. And he is
And
down
there he
pit road
is.
as
Vincent's
well.
down.
So looks like everybody waiting until about 25 laps to go. That's gonna be the stint that they want to run. Like I said, I believe that's where the tires are gonna be the freshest. Those give you good race miles. You know, in the event that there is a late race caution, you do still have another set of tires behind the wall. The majority of the drivers down have just that. You know, we've got that data. Somewhere here I can tell how many times everyone has stopped.
Derek Jacobs is officially retired from the race.
Yeah, man, tough sell for Derek. But those guys did come out here, man. They did have a decent run. They got some points in. Not finishing last, so kudos for that. 45 car, he's down pit road right now. That's Paul Olsen. Olsen going to be making his final pit stop. Paul having a solid run here tonight, finishing 7th. He's still second in the points. Don't forget that, man. Sebastian also having a pretty good run here tonight as well. He's down on pit road as well as the 45.
Yeah, it looks like Minchandon and Raymond are on that play it long strategy. So, just as I say that, Matty Ray brings it down. So it's about 2 laps of difference. Minchandon has also brought it down pit road as well.
Waiting on the 24 Powell. Waiting on Ryan Andrews. The last 2 stoppers. Definitely rolling here, man. This thing is, going green flag to green flag. That's pretty awesome. With 22 laps to go, though, I think we're going to take a step away, get a final set of commercials in here. Shout out to all of our sponsors. And then we'll be back here. We're going to have to, we'll take it through the end of this thing. And we are back right here, chasing this thing down to the very wire. Please like, subscribe, ring that bell. Give us all the help that you need. We're poor, starving actors. Something like, I don't know, just send money, please. Anyway, back to the racing. James Watson still holding on to that 3rd place spot. He's got Vincent Crowe, who has got his wobbles hopefully fixed. He's in second. Chris Severa leading the show on this thing. With just 17 laps to go, we're down to that last final. Is that last jaunt, if you will. Still got a couple guys waiting to come in down pit road, waiting on Kenny Powell. He's got 30 laps on his tires, and also Ron Andrews got 29 on his. Both of those two previously mentioned are a lap down at least. Those you just joining us, we are currently on lap 110 of 125. We have had no cautions and 4 lead changes here tonight. I'm your host, Big Al, and I've got my little buddy here, James Watson. James, you don't mind if I call you little buddy, do you?
Nope.
How tall are you?
5'9".
Okay, I'm 6'4", so that works out. You can be my little buddy. Ooh, right now, got another car going to be coming down pit road. This will probably be their last time. And that's going to be the 75, Ron Andrews. And now he's going to get his go fasters right here. The 83 and the 39 battling it out. This battle right here is for third place right now. Looks like Matty Raymond has decided that he is going to come up and assault the 39. James Watson still staying high along the outside, doing everything that he can to fight and defend his position. Matty Raymond pushing Watson high. Watson's fine with that. If you're going to pass to the outside. On this track, yes, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'm giving her all she's got, but I don't know if I'm going to hold them off.
You're driving a Ford, you'll be just fine. Keep it pointed in the right direction. As long as you do the rest. Oh, Matty Raymond getting by the 39 of Watson. Watson should have wrecked him. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, definitely tough battle right there. That battle's not over. That battle's going to be for third place. Watching Chris Severa, he is still doing his thing. Got a pretty decent gap between the 10 and the 00. Watching that intently, seeing if it's actually going to go down. Right now, it's holding firm. 12 laps to go. Matty Raymond starting to walk away from you, James.
Yeah, he had an incredible pit stop. You know, even pitting 2 laps later, he still only came out 2 seconds behind. So I knew once I saw that I was pretty well hosed.
Yeah, I totally get it. But back here on the racetrack, Green Flag Racing just does that. It continues. 10 laps to go in the competition. Chris Severa, your leader. He has got the 45 of Paul Osen taking notes, copious notes, as Paul rides along behind. Paul's going to be scored now 2 laps down. He'll be the first driver there, 2 laps down. Jeff Engler, 2 laps down also. Ron Andrews being scored 3 laps down. Derek Jacobs has 19 laps down. He has been since retired, along with David Gervais, who is 77 laps down. Both of those 2 drivers taken out by incidents on pit road, if you can believe that. Kenny Powell now, the last car to pit. He is on pit road. That is going to be his last stop with 9 to go. That's right there at that limit window that we were talking about, James. You know, I said if you're pitting 10 to go, that's a stretch.
Yeah, Kenny was absolutely hoping for the caution, and it did not come.
Everybody just has to stay away from each other. And you guys have been doing an awesome job of doing just that. This field has been very spread out since we pretty much started this thing. Still watching the interval there. I don't think Crowley's going to have too much of a chance to walk Severa down. That gap still holding firm at 2 seconds. 2 seconds with 8 laps to go. But we're still going to watch this thing because Severa has been known to beat Severa. I mean, if there's anybody on the racetrack, and I've said this, I don't know how many times, that is capable of giving Severa a knuckle sandwich, it is Chris Severa. Vincent Crow also. The Crow can be its own enemy as well. What about you, James? You one of those guys that's a pearl to yourself?
Yes and no. Sometimes not.
Coming up on Ryan Andrews, just to put Ryan Andrews 3 laps down. Andrews probably not too happy about that. He was your pole sitter. Fast lap time actually got him on that pole. And then he had a couple missteps, took him down off that pole. And he has just not been able to recover tonight. 5 laps to go. We're still intently watching the gap between Severa and Crowley. That gap now 2.2 seconds, so it's actually increased by 0.2 tenths of a second. 5.75. I don't think there's a close battle on the field. So we're just going to watch our leader here as he continues to do his thing. Now being trailed by a pair of lap cars. That's going to be the 45 and the 75. Ryan Andrews definitely lit up. He's got it. He's got that thing lit up and running on 4 cylinders there with those fresh tires. He is just smoking. He's going to get right by Chris. Looking almost like he did during his qualifying time there, the first lap of the race. If you were just tuning in, you'd be like, what? Is this the end? Yeah, it is, but Ryan Andrews is not racing for the win, unfortunately. Chris Severa is, and he's got to do what he's doing just a few more times. And then he'll be able to do a nice little burnout and put her over there in victory circle. James still running hard, trying to catch Ryan Andrews. Sorry. Jeff England. No, what? Matty Raymond.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get him.
Greg Wachinski goes yet another lap down. 2 laps to go here. Yes, they're not slowing down at all. Looks like he knows that Vincent Crow is back there. White flag's going to be out this run. Chris Severa has to make it one more time around. The next flag will end the race regardless. Chris starting this thing all the way back in 6th place, did not qualify, elected not to. Coming back out of a long hiatus, I'll definitely say. And he definitely showed right back up at the right time. Chris Severa is going to get it done. He's taking the checkered flag here tonight. He is your winner. He drifts around the turn to celebrate. Wow, what a race that was. Could have been anybody's, really. Vincent Crow lost the race himself. Minor adjustments became major problems. Chris Severa continues his burnout here. We're going to watch this so I can critique him, or he starts his burnout. I can critique him, because that's what I do. He's not going to give me the opportunity, is he? No, he's going to win.
Doesn't look like it.
He's going to win a circle. Nope. He's going to park it. Oh, he disconnects. Wow. All right, that's it. We'll take a step away, get brief words from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with the post-race show.
The future of virtual motorsports is now. This September, the heart of sim racing beats in Chicagoland, as the Sim Gaming Expo takes over the Schaumburg Convention Center, September 5th through the 7th. The Go wheel to wheel in our competition area. Test the latest gear, meet top brands, creators, and celebrate with fellow sim racing enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or new to the sport, this is your chance to be part of history. To purchase tickets and see the full exhibitor lineup, visit simgamingexpo.com.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
And we are back with our post-race show. I'm your host, Big Al, and I am joined in the booth by our third-place finisher, Mr. Matty Raymond. Matty, Big Al up in the booth. You got me.
I got you, buddy. How you going, mate?
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you what. You came out here tonight, and you started this thing on the outside pole, definitely showing that your speed and then I couldn't find you for a while, and then you showed right back up at the end of this thing and battled our very own James Watson and took third place. Where were you? What happened, and how was it?
Well, I thought I'd play the long game, hoping for an overcut advantage maybe, and it just didn't really pan out, I suppose. And first pit stop coming out, I got pretty loose on the apron and took the blue cone for a ride with me, so I lost a lot of time doing that and just spent the rest of the race sort of catching up. And yeah, struggled a little bit today, but I'm still happy coming home with third. It was good.
Yeah, absolutely. A solid performance for you guys here tonight, man. Were you guys anticipating a caution, and what impact did that have on your pit strategy and your long range planning for this race?
It's a bit of a flip of a coin, really. I don't know, because the car was really, really loose early in the day anyway. So I thought there was a good chance of a caution coming, but I mean, it's fairly low numbered field, so it was sort of, I don't know, I was on the fence really. So that first stint, I thought I'll run it out as long as I can. Second stint, pretty well did the same thing. I come in a little bit earlier on that one, just because by then I figured, well, everyone else has sort of got their last set a lap or two before me. If the yellow does come, then I've got that tiny bit of an advantage, I guess. But yeah, no, I don't know, a caution might have been good, just to bunch the field back up with, say, I don't know, 50 to go or something like that maybe, or 40 to go. But no, either way, it was alright. It was sort of, like I said, just play it by ear and just run it out when I thought the yellow wasn't coming.
Yeah, you guys definitely did get it done. Man, I'm kind of missing talking to you in that winner circle. You kind of missed the mark there a couple of times. Where are we going next week, Kobe? Then do my research.
I'm not sure.
Phoenix. Next week we're going to Phoenix. Is there an opportunity that maybe you'll shake the shakes and get back up into the winner circle?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't mind Phoenix. It's a love-hate. Sometimes I do well there, sometimes I do really poor. So we'll see how the car handles during the week. And yeah, I mean, if it's sort of loose like it was today, I reckon I'll do all right, because I sort of don't mind a car that's a bit more free rather than tight. So, but yeah, I don't know. I had a guess. I think it's probably going to be a game of saving the right front there. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, really. But I think I'll do it all right.
Dare to make a prediction?
Off finish in the top 20. How about that?
All right, I'll hold you to it. All right, boss man. Who you shouting out here tonight for your third place overall finishes?
I've got to thank TWRS, of course. They're a massive help to us and the whole SRM crew by providing us setups and sessions and whatnot that we can join in with those guys. The guys who actually build the sets and yeah, learn quite a bit. So yeah, massive thank you to James and the guys down at Team Watson Rose Setups. Watt's been 39 for a discount too. We've got Scotch Race Fuels, Cut 6 Sticker Co, Moondog, and a couple of charities, Tourette Syndrome and Alopecia Foundation as well. And all the guys that put on the league, Kobe, Al, yourself, James for jumping in the booth, Inside Lane, Doogie, all the sponsors that help out with the league and chip in. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys. It's been great racing this season.
All right, thank you very much, boss. Good luck to you, and as I always say, don't party too hard.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Have a good one.
Cheers. That was Matty Raymond, your third place finisher. Now down to James Watson. He is standing by with P2 Vincent Crow.
Vincent, James in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, James, I can hear you.
All right. Well, that was a great run tonight. You had one heck of a battle there. Well, first of all, like the first run of the race, you were battling with everyone. Me, Chris, Maddie. It was just a title fight there between all of us in the first stint of the race.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Slipping and sliding at around, I don't know, it was like 25. I thought, yeah, if I only need to go 30 laps on a set of tires, let me just try ripping the outside, and it stuck, and I went, oh, I think I found something here. So I just kept trying to rip that wall, and I think I found something before anyone else did, and it helped me get around Chris, who battled me hard on that first run, and it's a shame because I got the better of him in that first run, and then I held him off the entire second run, and then I don't know what happened the third run. I can't tell you. The car it broke so loose on me so fast. I don't know. He got around me real easy. I made it really easy for him. I was having a hard time keeping the car under any amount of control, and he just zipped by me, and then he short pit, I long pit. I think he had a little bit of help there at the end of that run. That final run, I think the only reason he kept that gap of about 2.5 seconds to me is because I think he had a lot of help. So I'm happy. I'm not disappointed with second place, but I don't know. I'm not disappointed, but I'm devastated at the same time.
Yeah, tonight was really interesting strategy-wise. We were all just having to play like different games with the calls and just hoping that whatever call we make happened to be right.
Yeah, for sure. It was it's like when do you overcut, when do you undercut? I tried to convince Chris to pit at like the end of the second stint. I had been holding him off for a couple laps, and I said I'm pitting this time, and then I just didn't. I just didn't pit, and I think I caught him off guard. I was hoping I was going to get him to pit. There was like 4 laps of fuel left, so I was going to take the super overcut for that third stint. But he didn't take the bait, and then as soon as he got to my inside, I kind of last second short pit him, like the next lap. I think I caught him off guard a little bit with that, but then like I said, that third stint, I don't know. The car just broke stupid free. I have no idea what inputs I did different to it. The last run I got tight, but I was also driving the heck out of the car. The third stint, I did not try to push the car because I knew he had took the overcut. So I wanted him to have fresher tires when he got to me, and for some reason it just didn't work. The car was just so tight, or so loose, for no reason at all when he passed me.
Yeah, that's another thing too, is we absolutely had to drive the car tonight. This thing was on edge the whole race long.
Oh, for sure. You have to, you just had to wheel the car, and the best part about it was that it felt like it was input dependent for sure. That's the most frustrating part. It was input dependent, which means that the difference between winning and losing was my inputs or the lack thereof.
Yeah, well, that was still a fantastic run for you there tonight. Any sponsors, plugs, and shoutouts you'd like to give?
I just want to thank the ARCA Sparks team and Kobe and you guys in the booth there, and for all that you guys do to put this league on. It's every week, we have these nice, really long green flag runs, and I just can't thank you guys enough for it. And I want to give a shout out to Robbie Brewer and his family tonight. It seems that the Bowman Gray Stadium had a wreck tonight that was pretty gruesome. And it's not looking good, so want to give a shout out to the Bowman Gray Racing fans, the family, and Robbie Brewer's family for sure. It looks not looking pretty.
Yeah, I second that. But well, we appreciate you, Vincent, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all take care.
All right, now back with Big Al and our race winner.
Hey, that was Vincent Crow and James Watson, but now you're back to Big Al. I'm joined in the booth by none other than Mr. Chris Severa, tonight's winner here. Total dominant performance. Chris, Big Al, you got me.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man, you're up, man. You started this thing, didn't qualify, rolled back, and then you came out, and it seemed like you were on a mission there for quite a while. Things were going on.
Yeah, it was a fun overall race. The car handled pretty different compared to a lot of the other setups that they've been doing. And once I saw tonight was going to be Old Atlanta, yeah, I was hooked.
So let me ask you, Old Atlanta, new tire wear strategy or new tire wear model, did it make a big difference?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a new tire model or if they did something different with the setups, but yeah, Old Atlanta is just far superior than modern day Echo Park. So anyone who says otherwise is just wrong. But no, it was a blast, and like Vince was saying, it was just so on edge, and just the more you could ride that thing on the edge, just seemed like the faster it went. It was just a blast later on once the track temperatures cooled down a little bit. Just really hooking the bottom in 1 and 2, and it's just, I don't know, it felt like the car, especially there, got faster and faster as the night went on. But yeah, it was real fun overall.
Yeah, you definitely pushing that Watson kid pretty hard there early on and throughout the race. Was that part of your strategy? At any point did you ever thought, well, I'll just let this guy kind of just relax a little bit and lead? Because I mean, you were painting this bumper.
Well, the first part of the strategy tonight was just to go straight when the green flag came out, and I immediately had to abort that due to Greg sending text messages, sleeping on the green. So we were pretty much 3 wide going into 1, and then I don't know if it was Matt had a little bobble on the outside. I forget who it was. I think somebody came to push him in the 3rd lane, and we had like a little bobble. And it was a little sketchy there going down the backstretch, but that's why we all come to race here. We all can hold the car in a straight line.
No, totally get it. Awesome performance, awesome race. Tire wear was a little sketchy. No green, no cautions. Were you anticipating cautions? Was that a part of your strategy, or was that something that you guys just kind of had to deal with along the way?
Yeah, I didn't know. I only ran a handful of laps coming up to this. I actually did think that there was going to be a whole lot of cautions with how push loose the car got going over the seams. But yeah, just again, really surprised that we're able to run it green. Well, not really surprised in that fact, but these guys, that's where you get it in these leagues. If you run the regular ARCA fix, you'll be playing Wreckfest essentially.
Totally get it, Chris. Man, next week we're going to Phoenix. I don't know if you're going to Phoenix. Are you going with us?
I think it's the old one. I don't know if I'll run it. I'll have to think about it, but more likely not. I think I might have other things to do, but Yeah, no, I'll be around though. I'll hop in and out when I can.
Definitely good to have you.
Appreciate it.
Anybody want to shout out here tonight for your overall dominant performance?
Just you guys always up in the booth, and Kobe for putting this thing on week after week, and really appreciate just being able to jump in here kind of like last minute this time and still being able to run.
Yeah, Roger, it's always a pleasure to have you, Chris, man. You're always going to be a great addition to any field.
Thanks, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your winner, Mr. Chris Severa. James, man, this thing was a brutal one, especially for you starting this thing off here. Great position there. It's in fourth place. Said it's the first time you've been out of the top 5. Didn't quite get the results that you wanted, but overall you got to be pretty happy, right?
Yeah, I knew this race was always going to be a struggle for me, no matter what. These types of tracks have never been my bread and butter, so to at least finish 4th, that's about as good as I can ask for. I wasn't really expecting a whole lot better coming into tonight's race, so yeah, just got what I could out there for the most part.
Yeah, I totally did, man. I appreciate you for doing double duties and everything else that you do. Also want to give a big shout out to Team Watson Race and Setups. You guys got anything going on over there we need to be made aware of?
Nothing out of the ordinary. Just don't forget to use WattSpin39 for 10% off at checkout.
WattSpin39, 10% for checkout. Thank you very much, James. And that's all we got here. I just want to give a special shout out to everybody that makes this thing possible. All of our sponsors, 131, Scotcher Fuels, Doogie, Team Watson Racing Setups. See, I'm always going to miss one. All right. And everything simulated. Boom. Got them all. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching us. You know, I go back and I look, and every week we get more viewers than we had racers, and that's always a good thing. So thank you for your time. Thanks, Kobe, for doing what you do. And God bless you guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.